to Daughter Chronicles Vol.1, where I talk about whatever I want to talk about because my therapy sessions are unfortunately only an hour. Listen, before we even get into it, I want to preface this video by saying I'm the first person to applaud and encourage someone to put themselves first. Nobody got you like you. However, where's the line? What's the line between prioritizing yourself and being self-absorbed? Do you not owe anyone anything, or are you just being inconsiderate? I'm sure you've heard people say, especially nowadays, I don't owe anyone anything, or I don't have to do XYZ for this person because I don't owe them anything. I'm guilty of saying it. It's a force of habit. It's a popular sentiment. But what are we actually suggesting? Are there better and more successful ways to get our point across? Let's talk about it. Let's explore together. Can we just explore together? I just want to explore with you. Firstly, I don't owe anyone anything is a pretty vague statement. And why do you believe that you're the exception to humanity, goodwill, and benevolence? You don't owe anyone anything other than what you expect to receive. It has been ingrained in our heads to not owe anyone anything, which submits to the notion that kindness is transactional. If a stranger drops a $10 bill on the ground and you pick it up for them, does that mean that they have to use that $10 bill to pay for your lunch? If you drive a friend to the airport, does that mean that they have to pay for your car insurance that month? How do you expect to be treated? And if you believe that you should be met with compassion and grace, did you do anything to earn that other than show up? Ever since Taylor Swift invented karma, no, I'm joking, Jojo Siwa did. Right now, as we speak, there are white girls with dreadlocks preaching, what you put out, you will receive. And be kind to everyone because everything is an energy exchange. But then they'll turn the other way when a homeless person is asking for help because they don't know where the money is going and it could be for drugs. As if that's not a vape in your hand, Miss Third Eye. Give me it. What's going on? I'm exhausted. For some reason, I feel the need to clarify that I don't actually believe that Taylor Swift or Jojo Siwa invented karma. I do, however, stand by what I said about white girls with dreadlocks. You can practice spirituality and the law of attraction without cosplaying Erykah Badu. Do you see how those two I can assure you it's possible. What I'm getting at is owing each other indirectly contradicts what goes around comes around. If you're not willing to help someone else, why should they help you? I've noticed a surge in the owing each other conversation post-COVID. And why is that? Have we become more selfish in a post-COVID world? Spoiler alert, the answer is yes. I found 2 articles that did an amazing job to lead me where I wanted to go with this conversation. They will both be linked in the description below, along with the Substack that inspired this video. Selfishness is COVID's sister pandemic, and it all started with masking and public safety. When I speak about this, I want to be clear that I'm not speaking about masking in the past tense. It is very much still relevant. I'm just referring to the 2020 mask mandate point in history. The mask mandate should have never been up for debate because it wasn't just for the sake of personal well-being, but for the sake of everyone around you. But that didn't seem to matter to an alarming amount of people. There were people who wanted to decide for themselves and assess their own risk. It's my body, I can choose, which is, I'm not even going to get into the irony of that. Anti-maskers weren't grasping that without widespread masking, it would just continue to delay the normalcy that they were pushing so hard for. The evidence was in the numbers. I mean, if you looked at places in the country that reopened quickly or didn't strictly enforce the mask mandate, there was a drastic difference. People still didn't care. Numbers weren't enough proof or reason. Millions of people are still dying of COVID and suffering from its lasting effects, and people don't care. People really think that they're the exception. And I get that life was put on hold and that sucked. My high school graduation was a drive-through where they butchered my entire name despite me going there for 4 years. Some people didn't even get a drive-through graduation, and that's shitty and unfortunate, but it's not about you. It affects you, but it's not about you. It's about immunocompromised people. It's about your grandma, your grandpa, your old aunts and uncles, parents, friends, people you see in the coffee shop, acquaintances, neighbors, people. Should the you don't owe anything conversation apply to public safety? No, ma'am. Did the you don't owe anything conversation apply to public safety? Absolutely, unfortunately. Which is why we can't go around saying things just to say things. Be intentional and specific with your words. Alternatives are phrases like, I don't owe them my body, or I don't owe them a reference, or I don't owe them an explanation. I don't owe them my energy. All of those phrases make sense and indicate what you actually mean. With all of that being said, I'm sure there will be people itching to play devil's advocate in the comments being like, well, actually, and you know what? Go for it. I want to hear what people have to say because obviously a lot of things are circumstantial and there are a lot of different lenses you can look through. But what is a non-negotiable is humanity, care, and dignity, ladies. That's right. That's right. Thanks for sticking around. Listen to me chat. This series will continue to evolve. This is kind of its bare bones right now. I'm going to include the 3 links that I had mentioned before. Give them a read. Very interesting. Hey, you're perfect. Never change. You're perfect. Never change. You're perfect. You're perfect.